folks. This is the August 4th, 2016 Environmental Conservation Board of the Town of Carmel. Present tonight, starting from the left, are John Starace, Vince Turano, Nick Fannin, Anthony Dusevic, myself. Absent are Bob Laga, Chairman, and Ed Barnett. Before we begin, let's stand and recite the pledge, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's start with the first applicant, Carlos Tenenpague, 390 East Lake Boulevard, tax map 6.59-1-33. Come on up and introduce yourself.
Good evening. I'm Alan Pilch with Evans Associates.
Okay.
I'll set this here.
Oh, that's fine. That'll work.
Okay. At our previous appearance, which was probably about a month ago, we had received comments from the town engineer, Mr. Franzetti, and these plans responded to the comments that we had received from Mr. Franzetti. There were a variety of different comments that he had. If you want, I'll just briefly go through them.
Sure.
If you like. The first comment was he asked us to support information regarding any archaeological sensitive areas or threatened and endangered animals on the subject property. By the way, just let me sort of reiterate, this property is the property where the owner had installed that 200-foot long trench through the wetland that was without a permit. And so the plans that you see before you are to mitigate those impacts and remove that trench, actually. And so with regard to archaeological sensitivity, we did receive a letter which we provided from the Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation, which said your project will have no impact on archaeological and/or historic resources listed in or eligible for the New York State and National Registers of Historic Places. With regard to threatened and endangered animals, we have not yet received a response from the New York State Natural Heritage Program, but in review of the property are delineators from Evans Associates, that's professional wetland scientist Beth Evans and certified professional soil scientist Eva Seghetti. They review the sites ordinarily just to see whether there are any habitat which may provide for threatened and endangered species, and the site is really quite altered. And so they would not anticipate, they certainly did not anticipate that that was going to be the case in this property. Okay. And I expect that that would be the result we're going to get from the Natural Heritage Program as well. Mr. Franzetti also asked us to indicate that the mitigation is in accordance with Section 89-13, and we provided a which is basically the mitigation that must be in the vicinity of the site of the proposed project. It has to be in an area that's affected. That is, the mitigation must be, within the context of where the mitigation is, and the mitigation must provide the same or more benefits than those lost through the proposed activity. As I pointed out, the mitigation consists of the planting. Let me just show you this. One aspect of the mitigation is the planting of trees in portions of the property that are presently devoid of any tree growth. And all of it occurs within the wetland buffer or parts of the wetland, and will definitely enhance the functions of the wetland buffer. As all of it is actually, all the plantings that are shown on this plan are in areas which are subject to Section 89 of the code. And I pointed out, in addition, the benefits of the activity within the wetland and wetland buffer is that it removes the ditch, it enhances the wetland buffer through the planting, and includes the construction of 2 rain gardens. Okay. The other comments he had dealt with, including the phone number of the Environmental Conservation Board Planning Secretary in the narrative for the erosion sediment control plan, and that's now listed on the plan. Mr. Franzetti requested information and an update to the calculation of the capacity of the subsurface pipe, which will assist in conveying some of that flow, which presently is in the ditch, into the wetland area in the, I'm trying to think. Southern end of the site. And that is provided on drawing SW1. Next, the erosion sediment control plan was amended to show construction fences circumscribing around the 2 rain gardens in order to protect them during construction so that vehicular traffic would not be compacting the soils in those locations. And finally, he reviewed the rain garden design, and there was a question regarding the areas that are being conveyed to the 2 rain gardens. I did point out that the Chapter 5 of the Stormwater Management Design Manual, the 2015 Stormwater Management Design Manual, with regard to rain gardens, there are guidelines, uses the word should as opposed to shall. And what we do have is 1,250 square feet of driveway, which is being conveyed to rain garden number 1 adjacent to the driveway. And Mr. Franzetti requested, instead of having a rain garden that essentially picks up runoff from the front yard and the walkway, is that we have pick up some of the roof runoff, which presently goes into the ditch without any treatment whatsoever, and instead, what the plan was amended to was to show a drainage pipe which would pick up 340 square feet of existing roof in this portion of the property and convey that into the rain garden.
Great.
Those essentially were the amendments to the plan to respond to Mr. Franzetti, and Mr. Franzetti responded, and I think you might have seen the response.
We did, yes. Mhm.
Right, he said, the rain garden calculations are, they meet the criteria, and he just said plantings and mitigation should be provided to Town of Carmel Wetland Inspector for review and approval. And I don't know whether that is, I just don't know whether that has happened yet, but, if there's some modification that the Wetlands Inspector wants, we'll certainly make it, and hopefully you can approve it, saying that if the Wetlands Inspector has any additional changes, it'll just be a condition.
According to the notes here, he has none, so we should be okay.
He has not reviewed it yet?
No, he doesn't have any additional comments.
Oh, that was the Wetlands Inspector?
Do you have a letter from Claudia?
Yeah, the site plan titled Tempangway property is correct by town code.
Okay.
That's all
He
he
has
said?
no further comments on it, I would assume, yeah. That's right.
Mr. Pilch, last time you were here was on June 16th, correct?
Could
You weren't here 2 weeks ago, were you?
No.
Okay.
No, we were not, that's when Mr. Franzetti's original letter came out. It was just before we were going to be here. July 18th was the date of his memorandum, so we must have been, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Was it that long ago?
July 21st, you were on the
Right, and we were.
agenda.
Right, we pulled ourselves off that agenda
Yes, you did.
to respond to Mr. Franzetti's comments. And that is what these latest plans do reflect.
So I have some notes from the evening of the June 16th. I'd like to just review. There were some of the things that we had asked to go over with you. I don't know if there's anything in the file that was written for this, but I can go through my
I see
notes.
nothing there,
Okay.
so. there's-
All right, if you don't mind, then I'll go through these. 5. So the rain garden calculations, that was one of the items that we had mentioned that night, and I know you have those and it's been approved. Well closing plans, were they included, do you have them included in the,
They're on the plans. They were specifically,
and this is done, you have, I believe there was questions about a licensed well. It is, okay.
there is well decommissioning procedures. They're on
Beautiful.
Great, okay. Anything else, Nick?
Yeah, there's a couple others. Do you have is there a vendor that's picked out or a contractor picked out for that yet? I think that was one of the, did we want information about that, whether or not, like, the actual license, or was it just a matter of we want
No,
a license?
when he does
Okay.
the work, he'll have to just show that it's done by a licensed
This is for the
vendor.
well decommissioning?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, yes. I know the plans say that, but no, I know Mr. Chairman, I believe it's not yet. As far as I know, it's not yet.
Okay, as long as it's stipulated in there that you will be getting a licensed New York State,
Yes.
well, someone. Okay, tree work by hand, that was another stipulation that we had. And-
Correct.
And that's on the, your drawings here, as a note?
I believe so, yes. The small backhoe they used to install electrical water lines when you run to the house. That was one of the trees and shrubs that picked up the location planting plan shall be hand dug.
Beautiful.
Machinery is not to be used to dig the pits for the plants to be installed. That's plan notes 8 on drawing SW1.
Perfect, thank you. Let's see.
Just say, yeah, it also does say, on drawing SW1 on plan note number 5, former well shall be abandoned by a licensed village or other licensed state.
Perfect. I have a note on here, perhaps somebody else that was here tonight, that was here that same night. It was a note for restoring soil. I guess it was a note to restore this.
There's, the New York State Stormwater Management Design Manual has a discussion that when there's compaction, if heavy equipment, or, I guess there's not that much heavy equipment here, but where equipment is used to, grade a site or go across a site, that soil decompaction be performed. And so there is a note to that effect on the plan.
Okay.
That is where it is from.
I have another note on here for equipment that is going to be stored on site, should be stored on plastic.
Note 9, a small backhoe may be used to install the electric and water lines from the new well to the house. If the machine is to remain overnight on the property, it shall be stored in fueling location depicted on drawings EC1 and on a plastic sheet.
Beautiful, all right.
Here goes this.
And then the last note I had was notify Klotzel, which you did, and we got his response. That's it. That's all the notes I have from that night.
Anything else, guys?
Nope.
Okay, well, this gentleman is eligible for a permit. According to the notes here, there were no comments or questions from the public. You will owe an escrow of $500, which goes to Rose. You can drop off the check when you pick up the permit with Rose. We've got Rich's comments and David's. Looks like we're good, so we just have to fill out an EAF and sign the permit. Okay, so let's just do the EAF quickly. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations?
No.
No.
Nope.
Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land? No.
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
No.
No. Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect the existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway?
No.
Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
No.
Will the proposed action impact existing public or private water supplies? No.
No.
Public or private wastewater treatment utilities?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, e.g. wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? No. Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health? No.
No.
Okay, great. With
What-
that, you'll have your permit.
We have to
We have
vote.
to vote.
Sorry, we have to vote for the permit.
One other question I had, you were mentioning the Natural Heritage Program. Did you get an information back from them, or are you still waiting for that?
We are still waiting for that. But I suspect there will be, their response will be negative, but we have not yet received correspondence from them.
Okay. Is that, this is the,
We can make it contingent on it.
okay, do you have any indication of, like, how quickly they'll get back to you?
I do not know. It should be,
When did you reach out to them?
probably a week and a half ago or so.
Okay.
I mean, the letter from Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation, they're very quick, was dated July 27, so it's not that long ago, so, you know, as I say, we do an assessment of the property when we do the delineation. As you know, this property has been, I'll say, disturbed in the past. So, many parcels that, these areas are going to be replanted, it's very much devoid of a lot of vegetation. What's going to happen now is that, there's really very little understory, just a lot of handful of trees. So that's why I suspect their answer will be no, there will be no impact on threatened and endangered species. There just isn't a habitat here.
Yeah, quite frankly, you're adding trees, not removing. It's usually.
Correct.
It's usually disturbed when you take their livelihood away, so.
Right.
I-
They look for the destruction of habitat. There really isn't any habitat that's being altered.
Right.
That would be, for threatened and endangered species.
Personally, I don't really see an issue. I don't know what board members.
No,
think
this is
about it.
enhancing.
Yeah.
It's an enhancement.
Just, I would just make a condition that he give us a copy of the letter when he receives
When
Oh,
it
it.
arrives,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Of course.
absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, when it arrives, we don't want to hold up the permit, though. I don't think there's a need for that. So with that, will someone make a motion to accept
Grant.
provide the permit,
Grant the permit.
Yeah.
grant the permit?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Contingent on he provides
Putting a
a
letter in the
copy of
file,
the
yeah.
correspondence once returned from the National Heritage
Oh,
Program.
absolutely. Yes, of course.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you
Permit
very much.
granted.
These photographs, just back up for a second, I just have a question. These photographs are what is there now, right? There's been no additional construction or anything like that? Okay.
the
What's
springtime.
Just backing up for a second, what's the first thing you're going to do? What's the first thing you're going to undertake, construction-wise?
The sequence.
The sequence?
Sequence, which is really, first of all, erosion sediment controls, that's first.
Okay, you don't have to go any further. I just want to know that. When the erosion and sediment controls, I just wanted, then you have to notify the wetland inspector for him to come out and take a look at it. It may be on your plans, but I just want to emphasize that because so many people forget that. Okay? Okay,
It's got a detail there.
yeah, right,
We got it.
right, okay.
Very nice.
Make sure that the wetland inspector takes a look at it, that's all. Okay.
So the wetland inspector reviews it prior to any, well, once the erosion controls are installed.
Right, you have to let him know, right.
Correct.
Feel free to keep talking while I sign this stuff.
Okay.
All right, you're all set.
Great,
Good
thank you
luck,
very
Alan.
much. I
You have a
appreciate
good
it.
night. Yep. Let's file together. Just don't forget your $500 check, or else Rose will not give you the permit.
Yes, I will let Mr. Tadbagway know.
Any other files? Great.
No.
Okay, great, moving on. Next, we've got a couple of application submissions. 20 Day Road LLC, 20 Day Road Carmel, 55.6-1-41. Come on up.
Good evening, my name is Daniel Donahue, I'm a local engineer here in town, and with me is Ed Cook, who's the owner of the property. We're here before we were sent here by the planning board for, number one, for we filed an application for a wetlands permit as part of our project. And I'll go through the project with you so you understand what we're doing.
Okay, why don't you start by describing the project, what you're doing, where the wetlands are, how much we're disturbing, go through the whole thing.
It's located on Day Road.
Sorry. Portable mic now.
Day Road is located up in the hamlet of Carmel. Our neighbors are a dance studio and also the Carmel Sewer District Number 2 sewage treatment plant. So we're
Okay, so
pretty
you're
well
behind the
isolated.
By the bowling alley there?
Yes,
Is that
that's
it?
correct.
Okay.
So we're pretty much isolated from the,
Right.
from the rest of the area. We presently have one building up here, a metal storage building, and we're going to build a duplicate building over here on the property. Okay, so it's all one lot. When we built the existing building, we had to make a tap into the sewer line, because the area does have sewer and water. And as a result of that, we did have to come to the board to your board for a wetlands permit. This is Michael's Brook flowing down through here, and there is an existing wetland is flagged, and the buffer, 100-foot buffer area is also shown. This has all been constructed, we're not gonna go near it. Our buildings and activities are gonna be over here on the site, so we're really not even, the only thing we're doing is that we're making a connection to the existing sanitary sewer, which is gonna require us to get a buffer area, 20-foot trench to be able to install the sanitary sewer.
20-foot length.
Pardon?
You're just going 20 feet. That's all you're extending in, 20 feet.
Right.
One length of pipe,
About 2 lengths.
yeah. 6-inch, is it a 6-inch pipe?
4-inch.
4-inch?
Yeah, 4-inch, yeah.
6.
I mean, it's only gonna be about maybe 6 occupants in the building, because he's gonna be storing equipment in the building.
That's existing from the other building.
The wetland buffer, I see you have it delineated.
Yes,
The wetlands to the left, to the west of that? Just put your finger on the wetland itself.
so the wetland is,
It's over there,
flags are
okay.
over on this side,
Gotcha.
The edge of
the
the,
flags are on both sides of
Okay.
the brook.
Good.
Because this is located in a Main Street area, we have to go down to the New York City DEP and get their approval. We have to file a stormwater management plan with DEP. We filed the plans with them, and they're in the process of reviewing them.
One
can
of
you
the,
just
one of
point
the,
out to where your sewer line is?
Pardon?
Yeah.
Could you just point to the
Where
sewer
your
line
sewer line
itself?
again?
I think that's the existing building.
See it right here.
I think it's
This is
down
the area.
See, there's one over here.
Oh, there's one up there.
I don't know whether
No,
that's.
no, this is what he's doing.
existing building.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is-
over here, I know, that's,
Here's the buffer area,
Yeah,
Yeah, we see all that. We see the sewer
and
pipe.
then there's a sewer pipe
Yeah, we
right
just
there.
want to see where your
yeah,
line is.
one
actually.
length.
is that
I see
where it
it
says
right here.
proposed?
Yes.
Sewer stops right here. This is where it's gonna get connected.
You're putting a structure in right here?
No,
No?
it's there.
It's already there, existing.
there's a manhole
It's just
there.
a clean out.
Okay.
It's a 4-inch clean out. The sewer line is 6 inches that will continue into the easement.
There's not a topo here, but which way am I
This is pitching
moving?
this way into the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much is here right now? I'm not clear on that. No, well,
Bill,
What's here right
Anything.
now?
What have you
What's here right
done
now
here?
is
this
the existing-
one-story metal building is here?
It's the existing building.
Right.
And a stormwater pond.
Okay, that's the only thing existing. Everything else is being proposed, right?
Well, there's the parking areas, there's pavement,
Well, yeah, okay, fine.
sewer and water connections, everything else. Anything from this side over is proposed.
So how much, do you have any idea how much, what your area of disturbance is gonna be within the 100-foot buffer? Square footage of the area of disturbance?
It shouldn't be any more than 20 feet.
So you're doing about
maybe like-
a 3-foot wide trench
Yeah, 200 square feet.
times 20 feet.
You dig a trench, put the pipe in, and you gotta excavate, backfill. It's not a lot.
Are you using machine to do the digging?
Yeah.
And no machinery is going to be staged there. You'll bring it back
Oh, no,
to
the machine's gonna be kept in the building here.
in your building.
Yeah. That's where it is now.
The silt fence should just be installed
Okay.
downhill,
When was the sewer,
6 inches in the ground. I'm sorry, Vince.
put in 16 years ago.
16 years ago? Okay, and what about this metal building here? When was that?
That I put up 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
5 or 6 years ago.
Did you have a wetland permit at the time?
Yes.
Yes.
I may
Do
remember.
this, also to do the sewer hookup.
Okay, okay.
Okay. I know everyone's taken their review, but one thing I would like to see, and I don't really know if you had it in the past, but I think something we want to see anyway. Along the buffer line, we would like to see our Town of Carmel wetland signs. I don't know if you had to do that last go-around, because it,
The only disturbed area that's gonna be is right where your finger is, where the sewer is gonna
no,
be. We can put the sign
I
up
understand that, but
at the orange.
typically, any construction, we ask to put a sign every 50 feet along the buffer anyway, so if we didn't catch it last time, we would like to see that on the permit.
Again, there is there a topo in here?
Yeah, the next one actually does have a topo.
And you've submitted a bunch of other documents through the planning board, right? You're
Through the
SWIP and
planning
all,
board.
The engineers got that in
Yeah.
advance, so that's
Yes.
all good. Okay.
Contour of the land is heading for the sewer plant, so that the silt fence would go at the lower end.
Okay. You-
We
Have
have
you
a
have you
detail for
marked
that?
where you're going to put the silt fence? That's what I was looking for. No.
We need to see that on the plan. Is it on the plan?
No, I don't see any silt
I don't
fence on the
see
plan.
Silt fence located down where we're gonna,
We also need detail on the silt fence.
I should be on there.
That's
Oh,
not
yeah.
silt fence.
No, that's construction.
Construction fence. Silt fence is just to the
He's
right,
got
sorry.
it, right here on the last page.
Yeah. Support net, filter fabric, tow-in method.
But it doesn't have, it's not wired back. It's not wired back.
Okay, we can certainly ask to put the wire back. in the,
Silt fence has to be according to,
Does the detail show that?
it says, no, that's
Is
structural
support,
fence.
is support
There's a silt
net what you
fence here.
consider to be wire back? Support net, or no?
No, that's the
Support
actual
net, it
netting.
says.
All you have to do is add the
Filter
note, just
fabric,
wire back silt fence,
Okay.
top or whatever.
There's detail in, on the manual, the DEC manual, standard detail. And you should have to, you should put it on the plan.
Yeah.
This, those are just.
I put it on the note, and then you get the other drawing.
Yeah, put it on the drawing where you're gonna put the silt fence, yes, on the drawing.
Okay.
Where the silt fence is gonna go.
So I'm sorry, where did you say you were gonna be installing the silt fence?
But this, over, down
On the downward side.
So it looks like there's also a pretty steep drop off
Oh, yeah.
to the left, correct?
The
We're
left.
not going towards the brook.
Right.
We're not going to be anywhere near that.
He's stopping at the sewer line.
Our
We should probably
connection
have you stop, right?
Here's the sewer-
We
here's
should-
the
we should
sewer
have you
line.
put the
Our
silt fence
connection is
behind the
over
sewer
here.
line.
I was going to ask, do we want to see in like an L-shaped sewer line, L-shaped silt fence similar to
Yes.
this?
Well, it's gonna be parallel to the
You
contours.
could wrap right around this area, absolutely. You don't
okay.
need to go down there.
Right,
Down
no,
there,
just
higher than
in
up
that
here.
area, but as long, because I'm concerned, this is a very steep drop off, so
Right,
having
right.
silt fence there would be.
Silt
Yeah.
fence between the construction and downhill.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you have two sides, that's fine.
This is the sewer easement, the sewer line is right in the middle.
Yeah.
We're not going past this point.
Understand.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you should have your silt fence back here somewhere, so.
Yeah.
That's all.
You can sketch.
You don't need much, because you,
No.
Right, just protect the trench. Are you stockpiling any soil anywhere? There's not
We're
a
looking
ton?
for a one-day process or a day and a half
Put the sewer in?
for the
Yeah.
sewer.
Oh, yeah, we'll be in and out of there.
Our inspection and then backfill and restore.
Okay, so you'll be in
It's all
there.
grass there right now.
No, no.
Do you have a sequence of construction on here anywhere?
Sequence of construction is not on the drawing, it's in the report, which is about, I didn't give you a copy, it's about that thick.
Yeah, I saw the copy.
Well, so one thing I want to make sure is in that is when you install the silt fence, you got to call the wetlands inspector, make sure that he comes out and says you're good to go. And then when you finish the project, before you remove the silt fence, he comes out, make sure you're good to go, and you're all fine.
I believe one of the first notes that we have in the construction sequence is to contact the town engineer, contact DEP, and contact everybody and let them know the project's gonna start, and they wanna come to have a conference meeting out there, it'd be a good idea, so everybody's on board of what we're doing.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll have to include the wetlands, or the Town of Carmel Wetlands
Wetland inspector,
Inspector
okay.
with that, after you've installed the silt fence.
Okay.
And then again, after the project is complete, before you remove the silt fence.
Okay. Anything else you guys see on this one?
So while he's making changes, Anthony, just to note, I see that he has a spill kit. He notes a spill kit to show it where you have your spill kit and where you have you're going to stage your vehicles. Just,
Well, I'll move it up there, okay.
Yeah, just-
I'll just
yeah.
note that.
Yeah.
I can put it in the building.
it's fine.
Location. Goals.
All right.
So I'm sorry, John, you said there is a location on here, or you're asking for?
No,
one?
it has
There
it
is
in the
one.
notes. It
The
does
notes.
mention in the notes, it just doesn't show the
Where?
location.
Location, okay, so that's what
That's
we're
all.
asking for, just somewhere on the map. Drawings.
Okay. Do you need any other permits to do this work from DEC, DEP?
From DEP, I need a
DEP,
permit.
before we can grant the permit, we're gonna have to see the E DEP.
Yeah, where are you with that? Is that,
Well, we filed the documents, I think, about over a month ago, and we got a letter back from the DEP. And the comments aren't really anything too major, but, you know, it's just, you know,
Is there a copy of the deed in the file? Did anyone?
yes. Because we gave them a deed for the, when we filed with the planning board.
And you said the EAF is,
We filed the
Filed
EAF
the
with the
EAF.
town, with the planning board. town
did you
engineer.
see it in there as well?
He's got it all in there, yeah.
Okay.
This is the one that's busted people's email, if you remember, that Rose sent.
Yeah, all right.
So she sent a bunch of documents.
Square foot of disturbance, I would like to see that actually listed on the plan somewhere, the area of disturbance within the buffer zone. So if he says 400, 300, whatever it might be, having that somewhere on here
Okay.
on the map would be just a little, you can add that as a little note. Area of disturbance within the buffer.
Put it by your detail if you want, it's up to you. Okay. So with that, do you guys think we're ready to accept the application with some conditions? Or
Yes.
do you want them to come back?
With conditions.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we could do it.
So then, let me just run through this then. So the motion will be, the acceptance of the permit will be conditioned on adding wetland signs along
Right.
the buffer, putting in wire back silt fence details.
Okay.
in your drawings. Ensuring that in your construction sequence, you have contacts with the wetlands inspector
Okay.
before and prior to completing construction. Location of your spill kit, of course contingent on DEP permits, and we're gonna add the area of disturbance to your drawings. So with that.
Location of the silt fence?
Area of disturbance for the,
Within the buffer, yeah.
no, not the whole
Yes.
building.
No.
We have that anyway.
Just within the buffer.
It's part of the stormwater plan.
Just in the buffer.
Location of equipment staging area also.
Okay.
Equipment staging.
Spill kit location on the map, I think you
And
mentioned that.
mentioned
permit
that.
will not be granted until he gets all.
All other permits.
Sir.
DEP.
And then, right, DEP needs to be submitted to us as well.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Well, except the other, just one, I don't think it should be advertised until he submits all of that stuff in here.
Okay, yeah, that's
So
fine.
it's
Yeah.
incumbent upon him.
With that, Rose will hold off on advertising until you get her
Right,
own
it's
drawings
contingent.
updated, so.
Okay, do we have to come back for another meeting, or just,
If you can get Rose the drawings, you know,
By Tuesday,
by
Monday
Monday or
morning.
Tuesday or so, she can get it on the, she can
I
get
think
it
it's,
on the clock.
yeah, I think it's gotta be by Monday, right?
By
Because it has to
Monday.
go out.
okay.
Yeah, well, the other thing, maybe he doesn't, if, because he has.
There's nothing major, I don't,
DEP, no, I know,
Yeah.
from our perspective though, but you still have to get DEP approval, so.
Right.
I mean, why make him do it by Monday if he,
Well,
when is he gonna
It's
get
up to
DEP?
him. If he-
Right.
yeah, if he
the only
needs
thing is, the more approvals we're able to get, maybe you can push DEP a
to
little,
do a little more.
get them
I mean,
moving.
Now, we need DEP to grant this, though. We don't need DEP to accept it as complete.
Right,
The DEP's
Right.
they've got to permit all his work.
Right, but I'm
so-
saying he can go on the clock without the DEP approval.
yeah, but then, suppose the DEP approval is 6 months. We're gonna run into a problem like we've had before? That's what I'm saying.
We just can't grant the permit until, I mean, his stuff could be already, he may have other issues that don't get him a building permit, for example, because he's got other things going on as well. So this could be a 6-month process.
When did you submit to DEP?
Hey, we spent it to them about a month ago, and we got comments back, I think last week.
The sewer line is the tail end of this project, so at the end, this 20 feet is.
It's very minimal.
Start that, yeah.
I'm just saying, let's not get into a bind where we can't grant the permit for 6 months or something like that. Okay. Well,
We hold the public
When do you
hearing?
plan on constructing this?
Don't- See, that's the thing.
ASAP? And you're gonna go? A permit's good for a year, right?
Well, we can't grant the permit until he has everything in, permit. We're only accepting the application
Well,
now.
I mean, the risk to him, or if there's any changes due to any permit, you're gonna have to come back
Back.
on the clock again and so on. That's really the
Right.
only risk I see,
Just,
but that's on him. Yeah.
that's right, I'm saying,
Yeah.
let's let him know that, okay? That if there's some changes and et cetera, he's gonna have to come back, okay?
So the permit is good for a year.
No, we're not granting a permit, we're only accepting the application.
Except, yeah.
Okay, we're only that's all we're doing,
Gotta
that's
get
all
your
we can do
DEP
tonight.
Permit before we can give you our permit, so you're kind of in a chicken or the egg, so.
I'd like to be able to have everything, I'd like to resubmit have you gentlemen review it and tell me it's okay. That way, it's done, like, that
Oh, you
thing
can do
goes
that.
away, and
So
that's,
then, the
come
question
back.
for you is you can come back in 2
Yeah.
weeks with
Yeah.
it all, because
Right.
there's
Fine.
nothing's gonna happen in 30 days, it sounds like, so.
Right.
Just come back with your
Okay.
updates, we'll clean it all up, and we'll get you
That's,
the file.
Okay.
that's fine, that's
okay.
good.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we'll table this one for the next meeting, we'll get
Okay.
that on the agenda.
That was 5 things you had on there, I think.
Yep.
Take
All
care.
right, guys, have a
I
good
I
night.
have more than 5.
Oh, it is more than 5.
Two-
1,
one,
2,
two.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I have eight, yeah, I have 8.
Okay, let me just get this in the right envelope, and then we'll move on to the next one. Road. Okay, next submission and application is Matsukas, Ulysses, and Gina.
How you doing?
Hi there, could you state your name and tell us what you're here to do?
Yeah, my name's Matt Ramito. I'm representing Ulysses. Couldn't be here tonight.
Okay, are you their engineer, contractor,
I'm his friend.
your friend? Okay.
Yeah.
We saw his letter of apology, so. we knew
I'm
that.
sorry, I didn't get your name, what is it?
Matt Ramito, Romito.
Okay. So, we have all your paperwork here, but we would like you to kind of go over the project a bit and tell us what's happening. If they've given you any information, we may have more than you, though.
Okay. I mean, basically, he just purchased the property, and he's looking just to add a retaining wall to it. It was a very steep drop off from 6N, and so he came and talked to the building department before, and they said as long as it's under 4 foot, he doesn't need a building permit. So he moved ahead with the project, and he just got issued a stop order. He didn't know he needed a wetland permit, and that's where we're at right now. So it's just a stone wall being dug by hand. There's no machinery there or anything like that.
Now, the stone wall he's digging is the one closer to the street, not the one, because I see a stone wall here by the lake as well. Is that an existing wall, do you know?
Well, it's about 3/4 done already, the wall.
By the road?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I drove by that today, but.
Yeah, it's all
Is he doing
cones up and,
Is he doing something by the lake also? No?
what do you mean by,
That looks like it's by the lake.
it's already by the lake.
Yeah, it's
It's only like 50 feet deep.
Yeah, you can come up here. What I'm saying is this, if you look at his drawing here, I know this is going on, because I drove by that.
Yeah.
But he shows a wall here by the lake.
Oh, yeah, it's like a little small little BS wall there. It's a rock wall,
But
but
it's
it's
there.
falling apart, yeah.
And he's gonna do work there as well?
No.
That's what we need to know.
Yeah.
So which one,
But
let's
this
be
is
clear,
not-
which
this
one
is,
you working on?
So I drive by there on the way in, so he's got, by the road on South Lake, he's got, you can see the rocks all piled up here, there's a bunch of rocks.
Where's the lake, Anthony?
The lake's on this side.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, so he's closer to the lake.
No, he's closer to the street, he's actually right off the
I'll
street.
say he's not across the street, because the
This
property's
is,
across
this
the
is like a
street.
dock property, right?
Right,
So
right.
it's, I don't know.
It's like 50 foot wide, 40 foot wide, I think, but.
So he's putting this wall right in this
I
area
see it.
here. Because what happens is the land drops off there,
Right.
it's a steep drop off, so. So the wall from the street, actually, it doesn't even look like it's a couple inches tall.
Right.
Behind the wall, it's about 4 feet or so, at least what I saw.
All right.
I think he's got
Is that silt fence already installed down here, or?
Yeah, there's a silt fence there.
Okay.
So here's some pictures, actually, you guys can take a look at that, get a better view in color.
Oh, okay. Now, who's doing the work?
Pisa Construction?
Pisa, P-I-S-A?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Did somebody stop the work?
Yeah, he's got to stop work on him, yeah. See, what happened is, he went to the building department and said, I want to put up a wall 4 feet tall. Building department says, you don't need a permit for a wall 4 feet tall,
Didn't
not
tell him that.
realizing that he's,
Within the
40
100
feet,
foot buffer
right,
zone.
from the buffer, and then he started the work. This has happened before, so.
Right.
And he got to stop work.
So you have a site plan here. You have a silt fence detail in your plan?
I mean, just, I believe it's a, 2-foot silt fence standard install.
Silt fence here.
It's, I think he drew it in there, right? I thought he drew it in there.
This is the silt fence, I guess. This must be the silt fence.
They're doing this all by hand?
Yeah, all by hand.
They're stockpiling sand, masonry sand down there?
Yeah, but the silt fence behind it.
It goes behind it? Looks
Yeah.
like it goes to the side of it.
Looks like it goes on top, above it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was behind it.
It doesn't look like it's behind it. Maybe it was, maybe it is. That picture doesn't show it.
I was running the full length.
This is low, right?
Yeah,
I
it
should
was
see.
running, it goes like this and comes around.
Yeah, so
This
this
is
should be
all
wrapped in.
Well, now this continues all the way.
Around.
Yeah, so that's the whole site. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be a stockpiling area, it would be separate. You'd want that detail shown. With a piece of silt fence,
Okay.
so it doesn't run. Well, it would be useless to you if it was down here anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree, I'm not doing the work.
Yeah. So, it's all handwork. They're about 50-60% done with this?
Give me like a day left.
When he's done, I mean, it has a cap, and then, I guess they're gonna put, is that gonna be a parking spot for a car, or is that gonna be grass?
I think it's just gonna, try to fill it some gravel, and, the rock wall's probably gonna sit about like 6 inches above grade, so this will stick up a little 6 inches, and I guess the plan is to put like a fence,
On top of the wall?
on top of the wall.
And this from the shoulder to that would be
Yeah, it's probably like a little bit of slope, but it'll probably all be.
Gravel?
Yeah. I mean, there's, drainage and. I guess it's not really any different than the way it was just dropping off before.
it was just grass here,
Yeah,
right?
it was grass.
Weeds.
So if anything, it's catching more of the water now.
Is there any other work going on besides this wall?
No, that's it.
Any walkways,
Nope,
dock work?
nope,
Is all the material here?
yes.
Are you filling? Are you doing any fill?
Well, it's a retaining wall, so it's gonna get backfilled with some type of gravel, either right on floor, it'll be a 3-foot of gravel.
That's your lake, that's your road. Yeah, 6, and this is right over there. So just, the only thing I want to make sure is that I really would not like to see him do, on this back end here, just blacktop the whole thing, because he's just going to create more runoff. So
Yes.
he's got to do something pervious there.
No, it won't be any blacktop. I wanna make a note.
And we really need to do something with this silt fence and protecting the lake here, because I don't see anything in these pictures. I see a little something in the corner
Oh,
here,
yeah,
but I don't know
no,
what it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
but, okay.
Silt fence goes here.
And he wraps it around?
Yeah, it wraps around.
I'll try it anyway, I don't think we can.
It's, you know, it is wire backed.
What is the actual, is this the actual square footage, 40 by 40? Or 40 by 16?
40 by 4 by
Oh,
16.
by 16.
Yeah.
40 by 40 feet by 40 feet by
4 feet
16.
tall, 40 feet long, 16, thick. Yeah.
Are you talking about the, 16 inches?
Yeah, 16 inches, sorry, thick, that's the wall.
What is he, some
Now, you said he's gonna
green
put it-
planted back on top?
He's gonna put a fence on top
Something
of the wall?
pervious.
I believe so, a little
But that-
privacy fence.
What, does that, I don't know the answer to this, but, and this isn't too much of our concern, but doesn't that make now the wall more than 4 feet, and so you need a permit?
I don't know, I guess he'll have to put one then.
Yeah, it's between him and the building department.
Yeah, right,
That's
that's-
a good question, yeah, he may want to check that,
Yeah,
because he's
You may
going to
wanna
take it
check-
down after it's
I'm
done,
just
so.
letting you know, so you don't,
From the roadside, it's 4
Well,
feet, but
if
from,
if he ends up doing this and then wants to put that wall later, you're gonna have to come back before us, because, put the wall above it later, or the fence above it. He's gonna have to come back before us, no? It's work within the buffer. I mean, it's not gonna be any additional area of
well,
disturbance, but
he's telling us that's part of the plan.
it is
Oh, no,
part
no,
of the plan.
Eventually, I don't know if he's doing it right this second, but,
Oh,
I mean, it's a vinyl fence, I think it's maybe 2 feet tall, I mean, nothing crazy, but, I mean, that's not, I guess it's how the building department defines it. It's not really a retaining wall, 6 feet tall, it's not gonna hold anything, a vinyl fence, the retaining wall is gonna hold, material and.
Again,
Yeah,
that's a, with the
that's up, he
building.
may not be
building-
disturbing, it. If he's just putting it on top of the wall, he won't really be disturbing anything, but, okay, do you guys have any other comments, questions here, anything we
Uh,
want to?
The only thing is, it's not wire back fence.
Okay, well, this is gonna be here for a while. It's a day of work, but you're not gonna get a permit for 30 days. That's just the process.
Okay.
So we will ask for wire-backed fence.
And I have a few notes as well. We need to show the stockpile on the map. It's not currently on the site plan, as well as silt fence needs to go around the stockpile. We'll need a standard stockpile detail, which you can Google that and get it. We'll need a silt fence detail of what kind of silt fence. Wire-backed is what we like to see.
Okay.
A calculation of the area of disturbance, somewhere on the map or somewhere in your narrative, meaning how much square feet are you actually going to be disturbing in order to put this rock wall in, or has been disturbed in order to put this rock wall in. Fill. Did you indicate anywhere actually what type of fill, or not you? Is there anywhere indicated in here what type of fill? Did anyone notice that?
Yeah, it's gonna be a permeable material. I mean, what type of fill would you like to see?
Something that's pervious.
Yeah,
Right.
so I mean,
But I mean also,
You have to specify what it is, though.
right, I like it specified.
Yeah.
As long as it's pervious and specified, it's fine. If you want to use item 4, fine, as long as
Yeah, you don't
it's
want soil.
specified on this map.
Yeah.
I mean, on the plan here.
okay. Are you gonna make a copy of this stuff that I have, all the, you guys
Pardon?
tell me all this stuff, you're gonna write a little letter, so, or,
So we have all these notes. They also show up in the minutes,
okay.
and you can ask Rose.
She
who's
can,
the-
she can get it.
You want to write them down? You can write them down. You want us to write them for you?
No, I was just asking if it was gonna be
Yeah.
official, that's all I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah, so we'll be official.
it.
You're on TV,
Yeah.
by the way, so it's official. You can get the CD if you'd like.
I'll write them for you if you want.
All right, let's go with,
above the wall too. Do we want to note about what they're going to be doing above the wall aside from putting that fill? Like, do we expect it? We expect it to be pervious the whole way through, as in just
You're-
as you were saying, no blacktop on top of
you're
that.
saying on this side?
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were alluding to. What I'm saying there is I want this to be backfilled with something pervious.
Right, okay,
Or it
fine.
could be
That's,
grass,
we're all,
could be
we're all
whatever.
saying the same thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be blacktop, so
Yeah.
the cheapest route is fill or gravel.
Mhm.
So you're going to detail your backfill,
Yeah.
permeable.
Okay, so.
You're also going to show, which I don't see on the plan, is the 100-foot buffer
If they're all-
delineated in
property.
the line.
It's,
Yeah.
it's,
The whole property.
It's off
I
the
see it,
page.
right?
It's off the page, yeah.
Okay, good.
that's no problem.
Then just note that it's inside the 100-foot buffer, note it. And then silt fence detail.
Okay.
Is there a deed in the file?
Yeah, there's a deed in
I
it.
think I
Deed
saw
in
it
the
on this
application.
one, so you can
The
see it
deed
there.
in the application.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Stockpile.
I think there is, right?
Wire back fence, you got
Yeah.
that one? Stockpile, area of disturbance, backfill, pervious backfill. Anything else, guys?
He has his deed, right?
Yeah, the deeds.
So, note about Clotsville going out before and after.
Make a note that it's all handwork. No machinery.
Right. Machinery and everything as well. But so you'll have to, you can do this as well, but in your project narrative or somewhere in here, you also have to note that once you finish installing the silt fence or erosion control measures that we've asked for here,
Yep.
you'll have to call the wetlands inspector. He comes out, makes sure you're all right, gives you stamp of approval, and then once you finish the project, before you remove the erosion control, he comes out again to inspect. And then he says, okay, you can take it out.
Gotcha.
So that needs to be noted in here that you'll call before and after the project.
Dave Platzel.
Yeah, so just so you know about the process, because it seems your friend is new to the town, this is roughly it's a 2-meeting cycle process. We put you in the paper, we advertise. If the public comes back with comments, you'll have to come back to address them. You're eligible for the permit, not the next meeting, but the one after that. At that time, if any comments come up, we'll know.
Okay.
If there are no other questions and you fulfilled all the requirements, you should have your permit and, then you're good to go.
So it's a minimum 30 days?
It's minimum, there's no way around that, and that's part of life, so.
You have to come back next time with all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
satisfied.
note it in the drawing.
It's 2 meetings, it might be a
Everything.
couple of days
Well,
short of
that's if
30,
we
so don't.
accept this as complete.
No.
So,
The process is that we first have to vote to accept the permit. We can't, unless it's complete, we can't do that tonight. So we're waiting for you to submit that information, then we'll accept the permit, and then it goes what we call on the clock, okay? Which is, we have to give the public an opportunity to comment, has to be advertised. And then you come back. and
So
publish.
if he can get this, because he's got a hand sketch, doesn't look like he's got to go through any major feats. If he can get this to Rose by Monday, I don't see any reason why we can't do
Come back
do
in
that
2
with the
weeks.
contingency, and then he's ready to go, It's up to you
2
guys.
weeks and another 2 weeks.
Well, then he's,
Or we can do it now.
we could accept it conditionally
accept.
with the fact that he gets all the stuff in the Rose by Monday and it
Right.
could be advertised, or we can wait 2 weeks. Those are the two
We could,
options.
I'm okay with that.
Can your guy get that done?
I hope so.
It's just notes on a
Yeah.
drawing. It's-
That's what I'm saying. I think I would agree with
And I
that
gotta
as well.
call
It
the
is
wetland
mostly just
inspector
notes.
for the, check out the silt fence that before we
But it
go
has
back.
to be installed, so it needs wire back, which doesn't look like those are wire back, so you're gonna have to remove that and put in wire back silt fence.
That he's gonna do, you're gonna do that prior to you restart the work anyway, so you got some time on that, but you gotta get it done. Plus, you're on the stop work, so he won't lift the stop work until he comes and sees everything, so.
Oh, that's fine. Just send it there.
Okay, so with that said, I'm just gonna, ask for a motion to accept the permit with the fact that all this information comes in a Rose by Monday. We're gonna add wire back fence and the detail on the drawing, location and detail. Stockpile location should be put on the drawing.
And detail.
And detail. Area of disturbance should be noted in terms of square foot of disturbance on the drawing. We want to specify that you use pervious fill wherever he backfills behind the wall. David Klotzel would need to be notified before restarting construction that everything is fulfilled, and then before the silt fence comes down, and all work to be done by hand. Anything else? Did I miss anything?
And just note that it's within the buffer zone. Okay?
Within the buffer. So with that, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, have a good night.
See ya. Good
If
luck.
he doesn't get it in by Monday, then he's gonna have to come back and we have to start the process 2 weeks from now.
We'll get in by Monday, not a problem. All right, thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Can I have all the docs, guys?
That's the one before, I'm sorry.
That's the one before.
Sorry.
This is before?
Yeah, that was the,
Yeah, boy.
slack in there.
It's okay. Got it. Okay, anyone else? You have any other, road drawings running around there, Nick? Okay, next, we've got an escrow return. Edward Gersh and Arthur Delamu, 859 South Lake. Let me check the file there, see what we've got.
No?
Apparently, there's supposed to be a memo in here by David Klotzel that says we can return the bond. Permit fee shall be added. Project narrative, I think you guys all saw the same email I saw, right? I don't
Well,
see
I
it here,
thought
guys.
the email just said that he's the one who generally dictates that, but I didn't hear that there was an actual
No,
memo.
yeah, there was an
Was there?
email from Rose that said David Klotzel will generate a memo, and I said, is the memo in the file? And she said, yes.
Did, okay.
And David Klotzel's only comment was that if we'd stipulated like a 3-year warranty on plantings, then that would be a stipulation. So basically was saying that he can't enforce a stipulation on growing season if we don't ask for one. That's more or less what he said, so. Guys, I'm stumped on this one.
Well, no one's here.
Yeah, sure, see
No, no,
if
I
you
thought
see
I saw
something I
something. What's
can't
this?
see, because that's the one I think that requested the,
Escrow, the amount of time we have to permit, okay.
that's the request for the escrow.
Okay.
We'll have to delay if there's no,
Well, I mean, we might be able to vote on returning the escrow if David's letter gets in the, through Rose gets to us. I mean, I have nothing.
is there any harm in waiting 2 weeks for us to get that? I mean, an escrow returned.
Normally, is there presence? There's always presence when there's an escrow return,
Not really.
Usually, but not always.
Not always, They may not even realize
Yeah, I
that
haven't
they're
seen
due
a
yet, you
person presence in a long time.
know. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we just make a, oh, wait a second. It was outside of the file. All right, guys, so with that, David Klotzel says the project has been completed and a full return of the $500 escrow can be returned. So do we have a motion to return the escrow of $500?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
There you go.
Look under your nose, right?
Yes.
Okay, we've got a couple of miscellaneous items. First is John Roland and Lisa Fave. Come on up, guys.
Far.
It's a 5, right?
Far.
Like Brett?
Sort of.
Favor.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
My name is John Whit, and my wife, I'm sorry?
No, I said I was on this side.
Oh, I'm sorry. We just purchased, we're new residents up in Mayapack. We just purchased a home at 46 Brookdale,
Okay.
the house in question. We're in the process of building a fence around the property. We took the initiative to do some homework and find out if we were any negative guidelines that we were that we were following everything we're supposed to follow. So we made a phone call, and pretty much they told us something about the wetlands towards the back. It's about almost, I'd say about 82 feet away from where we're at. Our backyard, where it ends, you keep going into the woods, there's like 2 drops, and then there's a little stream further out. It's very far out there. I mean, we're not going nowhere near the trees up back that way. We're literally staying on the green, not on the brown property. So we're just coming to find out, what is it that we need to do.
So before we go into the details, cite us here. Where's Brookdale? Where is
46
that?
Brookdale?
Yeah,
It's
where's
off of Archer.
Archer and Secor. It's the first street if you get down to Secor.
Okay.
It's a dead end.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on a dead-end street.
Okay. So Secor, you go to Archer, you make that first left coming off of
Correct.
Secor?
Correct.
Yes.
Right, yes.
Okay.
And you follow that road all the way down towards the back.
It's the Secor stream, I think, that runs across there. And you said that's 80 feet from your house? Or-
It's about 82 feet.
So you'd basically be in a wetland buffer there,
Yeah.
So the process is, you'd have to come in with a sketch or a drawing of what you're proposing to do.
I'll show you pictures on an iPad.
By all
I mean, if
means.
that's any good.
We'll take a look at pictures, but
Okay.
you're gonna have to, we'll have a discussion on this, but you're going to be putting posts, fence posts in the ground, you're gonna be in the buffer, you're gonna have to come in for a permit. So we'll kind of guide you through what you'll have to come back with for a permit,
Okay,
okay?
Okay.
So why don't you come and show us what you got?
okay. And they're not bringing any machines onto the property, they're literally doing it by hand. I mean, not by hand, by, some special.
Talking to this mic right
A
here.
hand post digger.
Yeah.
They're gonna post digger.
Need a permit as opposed to a letter of permission, correct?
Yeah,
letters-
most likely.
Letters of permission are typically for maintenance work, like if you had a fence and you were renovating a fence. But for new work, you typically need a permit. Okay.
The fence is 8 feet on center, the post. Like the fence, there's fence posts that are gonna be set in the ground with concrete.
I think it's less than 8 feet.
There's 6 feet on center?
I think it's 6 feet.
It's a 6-foot-high fence?
6-foot high fence. that's
Wh-
correct.
Okay, so that makes
Which one
sense.
is yours?
How wide are you going with the fence? How, the width? And that's how many feet?
Inside our property
Okay.
lines.
Okay. And the
So,
fence is gonna be going back here someplace?
This is where the fence is, that's what I was showing you. We had started it already on the right side, but we stopped.
Okay,
It's a white fence from Salem Fence.
okay.
I'm sure you guys are familiar with the company. So we ended up here. The other way. See, the wetlands is literally, there's 2 drops. There's 1 drop here, and you keep going, and there's another drop. It's literally behind those trees back there. I mean, it's way back there.
Now, where's, on this photograph here, where's the fence gonna go?
It's going on here on the green.
Right across that.
Yeah,
On the
it's
green
going
or
on
on
the
the
grass.
dirt?
No, on the grass.
So you'd basically be talking right about there.
Okay, now,
Correct.
and how far is it from the fence to the stream that's back there?
It's about 82 feet, 85 feet, between 80 to 85 feet. It's only like 15 feet off, I believe.
Okay.
So that's what we want to see, is how the distance, so if you're within 100 feet of that wetland or stream, we could see it on the map.
Do you have, you purchased it recently, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so do you have a plot plan?
It's on there as well.
plan surveyed.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, that helps.
That's a good one right there. You're gonna work off of that, okay?
Now,
Yeah,
you-
we're building it way in here, the line. It's coming straight down this way.
How wide is this property, roughly?
The measurement should be on there.
It's really hard to see anything
You
without.
can blow it up if you want.
Yeah, there you go.
150, there we go. So you're putting 150 feet of fence, give or take,
In the
end
back,
to end?
yeah, in the back.
There's a stream.
There's a stone
It's a
wall
little
there?
shorter, right?
Yeah, so one,
Coming into the,
Yeah, because we're staying within the line. Like technically our property's on the line, but we're coming in.
just a little bit short.
Yeah, we're coming in on all angles.
Gotcha.
the 10 feet on
Okay,
each
now-
side.
Yeah.
Is this one-story frame? What is this?
Do you have a shed back
Little
there,
shed back
John?
there?
No, there's no shed back there.
It's so.
There's a shed in the front,
Middle of the property.
in the middle of the property.
Yeah, right in the middle, right, yeah.
Right.
Behind your house, though?
Behind the
Sorry?
house.
Behind the house?
Correct.
When you're looking out the back of your house, the little shed will
It's
be on
behind-
your
yes,
left?
yes,
Right,
to the
okay,
left.
this is it, right here, okay. What you have to do is, you have to give us some idea where the fence is on this plan. Okay, and that's why I was referring to this, this little shed, because your shed is marked here. If you would just, you know, measure from this shed, at least this point over here.
From how far behind the shed?
How far
It's gonna
behind?
be about 8 to 10 feet away.
Okay, so put it.
About
put-
8 feet, it's 8
so-
feet.
So put it on here. There should be you have to scale it on here. When you print
So you
this out.
just want to know how much footage
50
from
inches,
behind
50
it?
feet.
Right.
From
Right.
the
Yes.
shed
Yeah,
to
but
the
that's,
point of
that
where our
depends,
fence
whether
is
you're doing
gonna
this or that.
Right.
So basically, you'll have to come back with a drawing telling us what you're gonna do. And
This
we're
drawing.
okay with doing this by hand. I mean, I did that
That's
with the
right.
building department myself.
Okay.
So what he's trying to give you is a little guidance. If you measure from here back, you'll have a pretty good idea of where you're gonna be. You sketch in the fence, where it's gonna be, how far it is.
Okay.
You sketch in from the other end where the wetlands from the stream. So basically, your wetland buffer follows the stream. So you're
You know
like
what?
in here.
You might
Correct.
miss it.
You know what,
Therefore, measure that out as
you
well.
got something even better here. Okay. Is there a stone wall back there?
Yes.
Okay, here you go. Measure from here to where your fence is gonna be and put a mark on the, tell us how many feet it is from here to here. Measure from here to here and tell us how it is, and measure
I
once in
did
the
it,
middle.
I actually did it from the stream.
Okay, but the stone wall is a better, because the stream kind of, you know, it's kind of.
Is there? I don't think I saw rocks there.
Okay.
Someone removed it.
Yeah, I don't see rocks there. Now that I think about it, there's no rocks there.
Okay,
Right side
okay,
of
you're-
our
okay,
There's rocks
okay.
on this side, but not on.
You can get to the stream.
Okay,
though.
then, okay, then you could,
Yeah, I
you're
can
gonna
get
get
to
to
the
the
stream.
stream, fine, okay. The stone wall is usually a
Yeah, I
line.
just remember, we ain't got no rocks back there.
So you're gonna end up with filling out the application, right? You're gonna end up with, you know, you got your stream back here, so you're gonna dash out your buffer. Your fence is gonna be in here, however
Right.
that's gonna be. You're gonna tell us how many posts you're digging. You're gonna give us a little detail on what they're gonna do, you know, auger.
By hand or what,
Yeah.
just by hand, that's all.
That's a square foot, you
And then
know?
there's an application fee. I don't know what it is for a job like this, but Rose can tell you
Rose
that.
can tell you. There's that standard application, you have to go up, have you been upstairs?
No, we
Okay.
spoke to Rose.
Okay, talk to
She
Rose.
can tell you
She's the one
everything.
that set us up to come here today.
The other thing you have to do is you have to bring in, you have to submit a deed for the property, which you should hand.
Yeah, we had that. We had that.
You need a deed for the property.
And the other thing is, like I said, you know, to the prior applicant, it's gonna be a 30-day process, because we have to advertise it, it goes to the papers,
You-
comments from the public, and then you come back.
So we gotta put a hold on it no matter what. Okay.
Can I ask, what's the feeling here? He's putting in a fence. He's gonna be doing fence posts, okay? Does he really have to put in a silt fence?
I don't think so, because you're not stockpiling for any.
I know.
You said it's six feet on center?
Yeah, because when you, after you dig it, you're gonna put it back in the
he's-
hole.
he's
Is he
got-
using concrete?
He's got dirt piles that are this big.
I don't,
think he
I'm
is.
saying.
I think he is for the post.
He's using concrete.
Post
for
he
the-
is.
He's
I
using
think
concrete
this
for the posts.
Yeah, so you gotta take just the material away out of that, so.
I don't, you know,
This
it's,
is a minor.
it's, you know, he's gonna
We're
be
kind of
digging,
on
he's
the
gonna be digging a
fence
hole
about
like
letter of
this.
permission,
Right.
you know. If he had a fence, we'd be.
Yeah.
Using that tool,
Yeah.
Yeah, the hand over.
That's-
He's gonna hand mix the cement.
And he's got all
Yeah.
kinds of trees behind it and et cetera, and so, but,
I'm not concerned.
you know, just get rid of the soil and
Yeah.
reuse the soil as soon as possible. Don't leave too
Yeah.
much soil around, that's all.
You know,
We
the
usually
fence-
require silt fence with something for just the,
That's all it is,
a year, yeah.
You know, the
Or
fence
erosion.
guys work, they get the fence up and cleaned up and, you know, they do
and
it.
he's very good, they're very good.
They've
Very
been using-
reputable company
they've
as
been
well.
using the soil
Yes,
they've been
so-
Salem Fence, they're very reputable.
using. We
about
no
8
soil,
fence
no-
posts.
We have no piles of soil on our property. They immediately, they're filling in the holes for the gas.
Is it just along the back of your property, or is it wrapping around as well?
Wrapping around.
Okay, so that is also gonna be, Vince, within the buffer, the wraparound.
Some
until
of
you
it
get to
will
the-
be.
Right, some of it.
Yeah, you just draw that
Well,
whole
look, I have a homeowner on my left and I have a homeowner on my right.
Right.
As well as if you see here, see, this is the thing that I was looking at. This is my neighbor on my right side.
Right,
They have a shed way back here.
right,
I'm not even going back there, I'm going here.
Right.
okay.
So you're.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going way where, I mean, if they're back there, I'm
It's
going
hard to
here.
know, I mean, that
irrelevant.
shed could have been done
Yeah.
years ago with a
Right.
permit, we don't, you know, we don't
Right,
know
right.
where every shed is.
Is this a stone wall?
That's a stone wall.
Doesn't that extend across to your property?
Yes,
Yes.
so it's
You said there was no stone wall.
No,
No,
on
no,
the,
no,
on
that's
the
the
side.
right side.
Just on one side, okay, fine, okay,
Right.
So
fine.
you're making a U-shaped wall, basically.
U.
Okay, so just draw out what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Just draw out the whole.
Well, John, I wrote that down, Lisa, for you, so show that on your,
It's
on that
fine,
plan.
you know, just draw out the whole.
Yeah, the whole fence. You gotta draw out the whole fence on that.
You could draw that into yourself.
Anything else, guys? So then you come back, our next meeting is the.
It's
we're-
2
weeks on the 18th.
So,
Right.
yeah.
all right, thank you.
Thank you very much, John.
Okay? All right, take care of yourself.
Good luck. Welcome to the town.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks again. Have a good night.
See you in a few weeks.
Okay, have a good night. We cannot vote on minutes, guys, because I was not here on 6/2.
All right, deferred.
We don't have a quorum for minutes, so we'll hold off, so. Any other business before we sign off? Nope. Motion to close?
Move to close the meeting.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.